guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a new style of video for me. My face is in front of the camera, but I thought I would do a planner tag. I put that out on my previous video and I got a really great response from you. So this video is 11 questions from, I believe, the account Caitlin's Corner, who is on YouTube. I will link her planner tag in the description box below. But I will do 11 questions, all planner, bullet journal related, and stay tuned because I will put a bonus 12th question, which is much more Doodle Day Darlings specific. So question 1 from Caitlin's Corner, I have them written down, is how long have you been bullet journaling? I've been doing it now for about 2.5 years. This will be my 3rd year because I'm on my 3rd journal. I started journaling after the birth of my son because I definitely needed a system to get back on top of organising life and mum life and just normal life. Question number 2 is what makes the bullet journaling system right for you? For me, I think the bullet journal system, Ryder Carroll's bullet journal system, which again I can link the original video that he put out over on bulletjournal.com, is just an analogue simple system of wrapping logging to-do lists and using future planners and monthly planners to organise your life. When I Instagrammed bullet journaling, I then found a huge community of creative people that use the bullet journal system to be organised and get on top of their life. That was number 1 that I wanted in mine. But number 2, it's an outlet to be creative. I can add in doodles and really get back into art, which is something I lost touch with once I finished university. And number 3, there's so many more layers to a bullet journal if you are creative, in terms of I use it a huge amount for my own mental health. So I track a lot of things to do with how I'm feeling, my mood, my energy levels, so that I can begin to get a handle on what's going on with me, how I'm feeling, and then take a bit of control back and try and master getting better at life, I think is how I do it. So I have self-care trackers, I have mood journals, I track my hormone cycle because that's a big thing, but I have a gratitude log in there which I absolutely love. I love nurturing positive mental habits. So it's creative, it's organising, I guess especially because I have a 2-year-old, so trying to fit 2-year-old mumming in, as well as housework, as well as social me and work me and creative me, and keeping a lid on all of that without losing myself. That's why the bullet journal system is right for me. Question number 3 is which bullet journal notebook do you use and why? I'm sure if you've watched my videos you will know that I am using at the moment a Scribbles That Matter A5 dotted journal. It's by far the best journal I've had to date, but if you are somebody that puts colour into your journal, you will know that the biggest problem with journaling and adding colour is bleed throughs and ghosting, and today this journal is holding up really well, so Scribbles That Matter. Question number 4 is what is your go-to pen? Now if we're talking outlining in my journal, I'm using Pilot drawing pens. I like these. I like that there's different sizing. I can go heavy with a thicker outline using my 0.5, but then I can be quite dainty. I'm never dainty, but I can attempt to be dainty with a 0.1. So for all my journal pages I outlined with Pilot drawing pens. Again, I will link everything I talk about in this video in the description box below. But if we're talking handwriting, I don't rate these. This little bad boy is my go-to. This is my Parker fountain pen. My grandmother bought me this when I was 14 years old. I believe they still sell them. Sort of their one and only Parker fountain pen range, but it's so knackered. I've had it now for well over 15 years and I've cracked the barrel, so if you try and just pull the lid off, that happens. The whole barrel comes off, which is really annoying. So you have to sort of squeeze it and then pull and then write. But the reason I persevere with this bad boy is because I just love how my handwriting feels when using this pen. I think everybody should have that pen that makes their handwriting look good and you feel good when you write it. Question number 5 is what is your bullet journal style? I think I'd have to say colourful. I love having a journal page that I can open that is bright and colourful, so I would say that. It's usually Disney themed. I used to draw video covers, VHS video covers, which in our house we just had Disney, so I spent a lot of time drawing Disney characters from there. So it's Disney themed, it's colourful, it's bright. I think that's how I describe it. Someone once called it whimsical. I like that, whimsical. Question number 6 is, what is your favourite page to set up each month? I think I'm going to have to say weeklies because I fit so much in. So on a week, oh, how am I going to do this? Oh, that's awkward. On a weekly, I have my rapid login space, but then I have my tracker. So I have like hormone trackers to go and fill in. So once I've done that, I can tick them off. I always have a feel-good quote because there's something beautiful about opening your journal and having something good staring back at you. So I live very much in my weeklies in my journal. I have lots of other pages that I use, but I think for organising and bullet journal systems, then I pack everything onto a weekly. And my weeklies can change. I have a monthly theme, but weeklies are whatever is in my head when it comes to drawing it. So it's always fun to do a weekly, and I now upload them onto YouTube, so you get to see what comes out of my head every week. Question 7 is, where do you get your inspiration from? It's going to have to be Disney, isn't it? 9 times out of 10, it's a Disney film. Again, I'm a bit of a Disney fan, child of the 90s. Where else would I say? I think usually I use what's going on in my week. This week I went dress shopping. This week I went dress shopping with my sisters. So I made the layout of Gus Gus from Cinderella when they were dressmaking for Cinderella's first dress. And then when I did the Moana spread, I'd watched that on a Sunday with my little boy for the first time. So inspiration Disney, but definitely whatever's going on in my week tends to make it in there in a loose way. Quotes are usually something I do as well. If I'm having quite a down week or I'm struggling, I will try and find a quote that fits my need for that next week, what I need to remind myself, and then I will build that layout around that quote. Question number 8 is, what is your bullet journal routine? So the last 5 months I've been doodling in the morning, so I upload daily doodles onto Instagram. So I now journal in the morning, which is unlike me. 3 years ago I'd laughed at that because I never was a morning person. But getting up and uploading a daily doodle has really got me out of bed, and I have to get up and doodle it and upload it to Instagram, and then I sit down with my bullet journal. And I cross off the previous day's to-do list, migrate any task that didn't get done the day before. I will have a look at what I've got that day then. I will fill out my trackers from the day before. I will go and fill out my hormone tracker. I will fill out my gratitude log. I will do my lettering challenge, which is something new that I've been doing for the last couple of months. So that all gets done in the morning. If I need to take a photo of my daily to-do list as I'm going through the day, I'll do that. But I don't take my journal out of the house because if I lost it, I'd cry. Question number 9 is, which journal layout are you most proud of? I don't actually have the bullet journal with the page in that I want. That's an oversight. I will insert the page. It's the Beauty and the Beast spread from my first journal. It was the first time I'd done anything remotely pretty. Because I'm not an elegant person in real life. I'm definitely the clumsy one. I'm definitely the one that will trip over my own words, feet, objects. That's me. But for the first time in my first journal, I really hit my groove with being colourful and bright and Disney themed. And I did a Beauty and the Beast layout, and I sort of finished and went, I like that. Usually I've got, oh, I could have done this, or I could have improved that, or I should have done that colour. This was the one and only spread that I finished and just went, no, I'm good with that. I'm happy. Question number 10 is, what is your number 1 tip for beginners? Just begin. Don't worry about the perfect notebook. Don't worry about the perfect pens, that sort of stuff. But journaling is a bit of a journey. It's not about starting your first bullet journal and being perfect. The first page of every journal I have had to date, I have made some form of mistake in, because I get book sweats when you open up a blank notebook and you have to start drawing in it straight away. I get really anxious and book sweats, and I inevitably, because that's what I'm thinking about, that I don't want to mess up, you mess up. That's a standard. So I would say just go, just start. It's going to take you a while to get into that groove of, are you a daily person, a weekly person, what sort of monthly layout you want, and it's heavily centered around you being able to switch all that up. You don't have to have the same layout every single week. I've done so many layouts in my journal that I've seen other people do on Instagram, and then I've come to do it, and actually I'm not motivated or inspired to fill that in, and then it becomes like a dead ghost page in my journal. So I found the most successful pages for me in my journal are ones that I've wanted to do, ones that I feel a need in my life. But ultimately, you just have to start. You just have to get on with it. Open up a notebook and just start. Whatever's in your head, get it all down, and then over the weeks and the months that you get into it, you'll start to find a pretty groove with it. Question number 11 is, who do you tag? I don't tag people on Instagram. I do use the hashtags @showmeyourplanner. I don't use @showmeyourplanner, but hashtag #showmeyourplanner, which is a lovely woman over on Instagram who is a feature account. So if she sees your account and sees some of your layouts, she will feature it on her account, and she's absolutely lovely. I've had a couple of chats with her. So I do use hashtag #showmeyourplanner to link to that account. I don't tag anybody. I think that's because I'm old and Instagram slightly still baffles me in places. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I would do a bonus 12th question, a Doodle Day Darlings 12th question. And that is, if you've been watching my videos, you hopefully will have noticed that I don't draw with 5 fingers on each hand. I have most of my fingers and toes, just as a little added ditto fact for you, are missing. I was born with a condition called ectrodactyly, which is the worst name for a condition ever. Sounds like it could be dinosauritis, couldn't it? Ectrodactyly. So I spent a lot of my childhood having operations and surgeries. I had 17 operations by the time I was 14. So it was one every year, and then a couple of years there were 2. So it was a lot of time. It was a lot of time in recovery, in casts, convalescing on sofas, missing out on school things. I was never the physically active child. I was never the sporty type. I had 2 toes. I wasn't going to be, a runner or an athlete. And I think because of that much time that I spent being confined at home, I naturally began to find things that I loved and were interested in that I could do sitting down and not moving. So that became reading, that became drawing, much to most people used to get quite surprised by that. Like, you've got 2 fingers, you can't draw or write, and actually that was the only thing I wanted to do. So yeah, reading, drawing, writing. I used to write poems and stories, and then I used to illustrate those stories with doodles. So it didn't matter where I was in the stage of recovery as a kid, as long as I had a book to read and some paper to draw on, I could spend hours and hours keeping myself occupied, and it was a welcome distraction from not being able to go out and play with your friends and sort of engage in that sort of childhood. But I think what's happened is, as I've got older, those passions I've just carried on nurturing. They are my go-to happy places. But I still write poems, I still read, I'm an avid reader. So although my childhood was pretty taken up with getting my hands and feet to where they are so that I could function as an adult, out of that came a love of doodling. And now I'm uploading onto YouTube with doodles. So, but I thought I'd discuss it with you guys. Nobody has come out and asked, and nobody has been in any way horrible or anything like that. I've had nothing but love from you all, which has been beautiful. But I was doing a planner tag, which was 11 questions. So to round that up, I thought I'd let you know, what's going on with my hands. And that's all I've got to say. So this was the planner tag. Thank you if you commented on my previous video to see this one. I'm in my son's bedroom. And I've got glass lighting. Look, anyone know how to get rid of that? Let me know. So next video I'll try and do the how I film setup. But as usual on Sundays I always upload my weekly video, and I try and keep them short, and I should stop talking now, otherwise this planner tag will be an hour long. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like. If you want to see more of my planner layouts, then subscribe, and I will upload on a Sunday and some miscellaneous content throughout the week, like planner tags. And I might do a draw my life with me video. That's the next one I'm thinking about. So yeah, but thank you for watching guys, and as usual I will see you soon. Bye.